NFL linebacker Chris Daft, who spent time with the Buffalo Bills, is joining us now for some more insight into this. Listen, man, unlike most of us, you've been on that field, and you know what this game entails. Were you watching last night, and walk us through what was going through your head and heart as all of this, the country was riveted by something like this? Because we've never seen anything quite like this before.
Yeah, I think it's been talked about so often that we're used to people being on the field. We're unfortunately used to that. We're used to it being it taking a little while before somebody gets up, and unfortunately we're used to at times that an ambulance comes out and has to take somebody away. But I would say the biggest difference was that they said they were doing CPR, and so there are guys that saw that, right? And when they say that's not something that you've ever seen, that's what you haven't seen before. And we saw a little bit on the TV. I know some of the announcers were saying they saw it from this high up vantage point, but what you could see with the players gathering around, that they literally had to see their brother on the ground as they're doing CPR on him. And so the trauma that comes from that, of something that you can't unsee.
Exactly.
That they will remember that for the rest of their lives. It will be seared in who they are. It'll be a part of who they are, and this game will now define them.
And listen, football is an inherently violent sport. We're talking about grown men in peak physical condition colliding into each other constantly. Okay, we all understand that. The league gets it, the players get it, and the fans get it. But yet, when something like this happens, it's still jarring, because we celebrate athletes like you and all the others for being gladiators, and y'all are. I mean, it is. But I thank you for mentioning the trauma, because it was bigger than just Damar's injury. It was about the trauma of his players seeing him and on the field for 9 minutes on CPR. So, and not knowing whether he was going to make it or not. So it wasn't the idea to cancel the game last night, which the NFL did after about an hour or so. It was everyone's trauma that I would think factored into that decision.
I say, when you say everyone, it literally is everyone, that from the players to the coaches to all of the organizations to the people in the stands to the people watching the game. I mean, it played out right in front of everyone. When I saw it, it was like, this is bad. Like, this is bad. And not only did I want to know how he's doing, all right? You saw Stephon Diggs. That's where I have to be. And hopefully when he wakes up, that he's able to be right there and be able to to text his brothers and say he's okay.
And you use the word brother there, because it is a brotherhood. As fans, you know the name, you know the face, you know the number, you know what they can do, how they can run, how they can catch. But when y'all are a team, y'all are boys. Y'all are friends. You have each other's back. There's a difference in seeing a player down there for 9 minutes versus seeing your boy down there for 9 minutes.
So it's different in that you're a brother because you played with them, but then also we are all connected in that we kind of understand that this game is dangerous, and that really it can be one play that can completely change your whole experience. And so when you see him down there, you don't just see him, but you see yourself down there. And so for everyone, it's him getting back up is something that it is for him, and you want it for him, but it's also for you that I need him to get back up. And so I would say his mom was there, and I was just so hopeful that his family was there.
In the ambulance with him.
In the ambulance with him. And I unfortunately have had to go to the hospital a number of times when I was playing based on asthma attacks. And I remember being in the hospital and not having family there because of when it happened. So it's, I know she feels very helpless at that particular time, and any of his other people, but to be there and for them to get her down so quickly, right? So they didn't just leave; they got her down. They knew where she was. Get her on that ambulance. Let her go with them. And I mean, if she can't do anything, she's right there with him, holding his hand.
As any mom would want to be in that moment. And he's hanging on. We know he was intubated at some point. He's still in critical condition this morning, so he's by no means out of the woods just yet. We still don't know the full extent of what happened. Was it the power of the hit? Was it some underlying heart condition? We don't know. We'll get to that. The important thing in this moment is that he survives. Let me ask you this. It was fascinating, too, last night, and this is going to be a big secondary discussion today about that it took the league a while to call the game. You could see it building on Twitter. You could see it building on-air personalities and reporters who were there. Call the game, Goodell. Call the game, Commissioner. Call the game. And ultimately, they did. And this was a huge game, big playoff implications. Now the logistics of when and how to reschedule, we don't know how that's going to shake out. Again, that's secondary. What did you make? What was your opinion on the league, one, canceling the game, and that it took more than an hour for them to do it?
I think it's about kind of positioning, and that the league has to look at the bigger picture in terms of they want the game to be played, right? So that's there. But I think it was obvious that even though they wanted it to happen, that it was going to be about the teams, right? There's, and you saw that. You saw with McDermott trying to get his guys excited. You saw with Stephon Diggs trying to get them up. But based on what they saw, again, based on seeing their brother down, again, it's, I think, Ryan Clark talked about it. It's totally different when you get that thumbs up and somebody's had a neck injury or something, and you get the thumbs up, and it's kind of this, okay, we can go back. They haven't got that thumbs up yet.
Right.
All right. And because they haven't got that thumbs up, and you can see the images of the guys on the field. You can see the Bills players on the field.
That's what makes it interesting, because there's reporting this morning that suggests that the league's instinct was no, get back on the field and play. And then the coaches said, nah, my guys aren't going back out there.
And again, I would say that their instinct is definitely going to be understanding the implications a little bit more, but it was still going to play out. So they're going to say, we want the game to be played, but it really was going to be up to the coaches or the players that they were going to say no. The same way as I would say after 9/11 that the league would have potentially initially said, we want the games to be played, but then it became apparent that was the case. And so I just know it's a hard decision. I sent a message to Troy Vincent, who's at the league office, and I'm lifting him up. I mean, at the NFL, the hard decisions that everybody has to make.
This league rarely cancels games. You rarely ever see this.
And it's difficult, because if you cancel a game and you push the rest time down, you put guys in jeopardy by doing that. And so again, the question right now is, when will the guys feel like, again, that's all clear that we're looking for? Hopefully it happens today. All right. The prayers are being sent all over the place. So hopefully that happens today. And then the guys can actually start thinking about, what does this mean to be able to play this game? Yeah.
Well, listen, I know this story hits home for more than one level for you. So thanks for coming in this morning and sharing a little bit of insight from the players' perspective. That's so critical. Chris Trapp, former NFL linebacker. Again, many thanks. I appreciate your time.